Hi folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans, and today we're going to be talking about the absolute dumpster fire that is the entertainment industry. Mother of God, folks, there's so much to talk about, and originally, I gotta tell you, I was just going to do this article. I was just going to do this article on Netflix because this is a cartoon news channel. I usually talk about this kind of thing, but there's so many things going on right now that I wanted to talk about some of the other things. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much going on. Disney, you got, like, look at it. Okay, so we're here on cosmicbook.news, right? Let's take a look at this headline just to give you guys an idea of how many things are going on right now. Yeah, especially like this in the last month. It's just been wacky. So, cosmicbook.news. Woke media takes a beating, and I have to give a round of applause. Thank God that the woke media is finally taking a beefy old beating. This should have happened a lot sooner, but we have Netflix, Disney, Twitter, CNN, and Elon Musk. So I guess we can reverse engineer here. We could say Elon Musk is buying Twitter. Twitter has been, basically known as the biggest left-wing echo chamber on the entire planet. Maybe save China, save for China there. Outside of that, it's probably Twitter. Lot of just nutcases, insane people, wackadoodles. They're just crazy on Twitter. They're so crazy. They're unhinged, and they keep getting canceled, or they keep canceling people. Sorry, they keep getting things canceled. They have the cancel culture that Twitter brings to the table, and it's just awful. And a lot of times, it's only like a small handful, a small minority of people that are yelling so loudly they get things that we love changed, backtracked on, or canceled outright entirely. And it's time it ends. And Elon Musk taking the helm can only be a great, great thing, folks. A great, great thing. So that's Elon. Then we have CNN, like literally the wokest left-wing news organization. I don't know why. They freaking Pluto made me laugh there. But CNN is a huge failure. CNN recently became a laughingstock of the industry. They're the new Quibi. You guys remember my video on Quibi a long time ago? I talked about how in just the span of 1 year, Quibi had like $1 billion. They burned through almost $1 billion and they failed. They had a wacky streaming platform. It was just awful. It was awful and it crashed. And here CNN is the new Quibi, So here we go. CNN recently became a laughingstock of the industry with the revelation that nobody subscribed to CNN Plus, where it's speculated the newly formed Warner Brothers Discovery merger. I've talked about that before. So Warner Bros. And Discovery merging. Unfortunately, they still have $50 billion worth of debt that they got to pay off. So the dumpster fire continues here. We've got companies that can't pay their debt off. We got a little bit of everything in this video. My God. Which once again proves the woke left are just a vocal minority, like I said, who are made up of radicals that don't want to pay for anything and want everything for free. And that's a great point. They do want everything for free. They don't want to pay. They just want it for free. They yell and kick and scream. And at the end of the day, they don't buy it, right? So we look at the comic book industry. They yell and they kick and they scream. Oh, we want more gay characters. Oh, we want more non-binary characters. We want this. We want that. We want all the woke shit in our comic books. And then when it comes time to buy them, they don't buy them because they're garbage. They're just freaking garbage. And so, yeah, we have CNN flopping. It's already canceled. It's just today. Just today, it was shut down. CNN Plus, it's only a good thing that got shut down. And then, so we talked about Elon and Twitter. Disney, Ron DeSantis is, I believe, the bill right now today is getting passed, or it has passed. They're going to revoke Disney's right. They had all these special rights and things from way back in the day. Ron DeSantis from Florida, the governor of Florida there, he is taking action. Finally, a conservative. I'm pretty conservative, pretty on the right. And I would definitely say that finally the conservative / right-wing, part of politics are finally stepping up and doing something. So they're taking jabs at Disney. Disney had the whole fiasco with the They called it the what were they called? The Don't Say Gay bill. I'm not from America, but I've heard all about this legendary bill that had nothing to do with that. This was a bill that was like to protect the teachers themselves from like grooming these children with all their weird ideology, and so Disney is finally getting taken out to the curb. Ron DeSantis, after the backlash, because the bill, they try to name it some weird thing, but it was actually called like the bill of like parental rights. It was something like that. I don't know it off the top of my head, but basically, Ron DeSantis came through. He said, hey, Disney shouldn't be involving themselves in politics. In fact, they have too much power. We're going after Disney, and now Disney's getting smacked around left and right. I personally hope one of the things that Disney has done is they've been able to extend the copyright on Mickey Mouse, right? Mickey Mouse, usually how copyright works is like 70 years after the death of the creator, it goes into the public domain. So this year, Winnie the Pooh actually got put into the public domain. Certain elements of the original books, you can make your own like Winnie the Pooh. I think Ryan Reynolds had something, right? Edward Bear, Ryan Reynolds. We can watch that video, I think, right? Yeah. Let's hold on a second here. Let's find that video by Ryan. Ryan Reynolds did like a commercial right at the start of the year. Ryan Reynolds gets roasted by his twin brother. No. Ryan Reynolds. Hold on. Winnie the Pooh. How do you even spell Winnie the Pooh? How do you even spell this thing? Okay, here we go. Winnie the Screwed by Ryan. One sec. I need some water. This is going to be a long video. So if you, like I said, 3 months ago, that was like what, January, February, like right at the beginning of the year, Winnie the Pooh got put in the public domain. Let's watch. It's 1 minute 30 seconds. Let's just watch this. And just in case I get copyright struck, let's boom.
So yesterday was Public Domain Day. It's the day where classic works enter the public domain.
Yeah, so just to interrupt, the first of every year, Public Domain Day, all of the stories get thrown in and we can start using them and making money. So let's keep going.
And this year, the original Winnie the Pooh becomes public domain.
Yeah.
So I think you can see where this is going. And I expect it will be
January 2nd, see?
Certain mouse about this Pooh very, very soon.
Winnie the
Screwed. Chapter 1, in which we are introduced to Winnie the Screwed and his big wireless bill, and the stories begin. Here is Edward Bear reviewing his latest bill from Big Wireless. Bump, bump, bump.
Yeah, this is a commercial, by the way.
The front of his head as hard as he can against the table as he realizes how much he's being charged. It is, as far as he knows, the only way to have a cell phone because he hasn't yet switched to Mint Mobile.
Oh boy.
Anyhow, here he is, getting worked over like so many people and ready to be introduced to you,
Winnie the Screwed.
Like anyone with a big wireless plan, Winnie the Screwed just wants to keep some of his sweet, sweet money, but his money jar gets emptier and emptier with every monthly bill. So, I told Christopher Robin that anyone can get 3 free months of Mint Mobile now until Friday at midnight. The end.
Yeah, not bad.
Unless my interpretation of copyright law is wrong.
Ceased and desist. Yeah, but basically, I love the idea here, right? They were able to take Winnie the Pooh and just make it into a commercial, which you weren't previously able to do. But now that it's January 2nd, this was posted on January 2nd, it's just really, really good. You guys can read the comments. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, people were asking for a Winnie the Screwed audio book. But you guys get the idea. So Mickey Mouse, because of certain gibberish laws, somehow Disney was so powerful and in politics, they were able to extend Mickey Mouse the copyright, and for many, many years, it's like it's been overtime now. You know, like when you watch a hockey game or a soccer game or whatever sport, and the teams are tied, and then they go into overtime, right? We're in overtime. This should have gone, and Mickey Mouse should have been in the public domain a while back, and it's time for this goddamn mouse to come to us so we can make money off of him. And I really hope Ron DeSantis needs to take that away immediately and just make Mickey Mouse part of the public domain. So all of us, me and you and everyone watching this video, can actually use Mickey Mouse and make some moolah. I don't know if I would actually do anything with him, but I mean, I could try, though. I could definitely make one of my little creatures here, some kind of Mickey Mouse inspired one. I don't know. But that's just that on Disney. So let's go back. Did we talk about everything? And then Netflix. Okay, so now we have to get to the finale here with Netflix and talk about this article. And we have to read this through. We might skip certain parts. I've already read it, most of it. But there's a couple parts we could skip, I think. And it says here it's a 7-minute read. There's no way. There's no way this is a 7-minute read. But we're going to try and get through it. Netflix animation erased. Executives fired. Shows canceled. And accusations of staged data. Mother of God, this is the one you've all been waiting for. Exclusive. This is an exclusive here. And unfortunately, we're gonna get into it. Boss Baby. We're gonna talk about Boss Baby. We're gonna talk about Bone. This is Bone right here. If you guys don't know, Bone has been canceled 3 times. Bone canceled. This show cannot catch a break, folks. This show literally, Bone. It was like a grab. Yeah, here we go. I remember back when I was a kid. I think it was towards the end. I think I saw these at the Scholastic Book Fair. Bone. Or was it just at the library? Was it for sale? It might have been for sale. But my God, Bone, this is the 3rd time they try to make a series, and 3 times in a row they flopped. It's not that they flopped, they just didn't make it to the end. They didn't get the show produced. This is a cursed series. I mean, it's called Bone. It is called Bone, so there's something a bit cursed about this one. But 3 times in a row, the show gets axed? That has to be some unlucky ass franchise right there, So let's go back. We're gonna start talking about this. Let's get this article started. Phil Rinda, whose official title is Netflix Director of Creative Leadership and Development for Original Animation, was let go this week. Never a great sign. Along with several of his staff. The Wrap can exclusively report, and Netflix has confirmed. So The Wrap and Netflix. Netflix themselves actually came out to The Wrap and confirmed it. Okay. That was worded a bit weirdly. According to several creators who spoke to The Wrap, the kids and family space at Netflix animation has changed. Series that benefited from great word of mouth and critical praise aren't being renewed. And this is what happens a lot of times, right? When a company is new, they try and make new properties. We see it, right? We see it. They try and make all kinds of new stuff. This is what I grew up with RuneScape. Jagex, they made this is a company that made RuneScape, right? They were always trying to create these wacky new games. Like, they came out with this whole thing called Fun Orb, which I subscribed to. There was a pretty good game on there called Arcanist. Let me know if anybody in the comments played Arcanist on Fun Orb. But it was such a great game. But yeah, so Arcanist, RuneScape, and Jagex there tried to make, they struck gold with RuneScape. They tried to make other weird things. They always claimed there was going to be a game called Mechscape, which was taking place in the future with aliens or something. So they tried their hand to make all kinds of things. They tried to make a MMO for Transformers. Everything they touched died except for RuneScape itself, So Jagex has had a really, really awful time. But when they were back in the day, when they first started, they definitely tried to make a whole bunch of wacky new franchises, right? So this is the point I'm trying to make. So Netflix has been around for a while. They made a bunch of new stuff. Doesn't seem like it's working out. And now it might be a sad, sad case where instead of getting fresh new ideas, we're just going to get things that people recognize. They're going to go back to the well. And, just like kind of Jagex did, they just stayed in their own little section and they kept making RuneScape. Now there's 2 different versions of RuneScape. And this could just be the future of Netflix where we just get, I'm sure they'll still make new stuff, but we might see a shift where Netflix says we can only afford to produce things that we know are successful. So this is going to be very dangerous going forward here. So aren't being renewed, and high-profile projects have been unceremoniously canceled. including the long-delayed adaptation of Jeff Smith's beloved comic series, Bone. And there it goes again. First announced back in 2019, Netflix, which just saw its stock plummet more than 30%. And I think I pulled that up. Yeah. Just like when I was a kid, right? There was this show called like the Roadrunner and Coyote show, where the Roadrunner is just this innocent bird just eating some bird seed. Coyote wants to eat the Roadrunner, right? You guys have probably seen Looney Tunes. You know all about it. And basically, they would chase each other through the desert, and eventually the Roadrunner would just manage to find a way to escape, and the Coyote, he would fall off the cliff and plummet all the way down, and you'd see a little poof, like a little cloud or a little... you'd probably hear a sound. Sometimes they'd have an anvil, Sometimes there was a gimmick where like an anvil also would fall down and crush the poor coyote. And this is what I'm looking at right here. Netflix's stock literally looking like a Roadrunner and Coyote cartoon just falling off a cliff. How disturbing. And this does not bode well, folks. This is a cartoon channel where I cover like all kinds of new cartoons and talk about things. Not a great sign that we're going to see cutbacks and high profile things being canceled for my channel, honestly. But if you're losing subscribers, you got to cut. And Netflix just has not been doing a great job. And here's the problem. A lot of these companies and businesses, they think they're going to get profits forever, right? They think those charts are just going to keep going up and up and up forever. But it never works out. What goes up must come down, and they will crash eventually. And it's just sad to see that Netflix is basically going... I don't want to say they're going the route of the Blockbuster. Fun fact, I worked at Blockbuster until the day it shut down. Very interesting. But I still have my name tag, by the way. It's like, hi, I'm Sandro, Blockbuster employee. Anyways. But yeah, Netflix, Blockbuster didn't adapt to the times and they got canned. Netflix seems like they're overspending. They're not adapting to what their fans actually want. They keep making garbage like Cuties, right? We need, honest to God, Netflix needs to come out to its subscribers and say, we apologize for Cuties. We're taking it down. That's what they need to do. That'd be a great step to winning back the fans. But I don't think they're going to do it. They also try to blame Russia. I guess I see it, right? It's like, okay, they're fighting a war, and Netflix claim that they're only intending to pull out of Russia for like temporarily, and then they're eventually going to go back once the conflict hopefully dies down. But yeah, so Netflix not in a great position here, trying to put the blame on weird shit like war, and literally in reality it's all their fault, right? It's all their fault. They haven't had a lot of big hits like Stranger Things. It was big when it came out, but like okay, it's like Stranger Things. What else you got? They also had Squid Game a while back. Squid Game was pretty big, but like you're running a platform where you need to continuously keep up. They're just not doing it. They're just not making it. And you need to keep putting out hits if you want to keep making big money and keep getting people to come to your subscription service, right? And so unfortunately, Bone getting axed. I guess, a lot of people don't really know Bone. Really unfortunate. I want to know what Bone is. I myself don't know what it is. I know the character. Like I could recognize the character, but I want to learn what Bone is. But they keep axing the shows. When can we see a Bone show? When can we see a Bone? Maybe they got to start small. Maybe we just need a Bone movie. I don't know. Oh my God, my mom just keeps. What does she do? She's texting me. Okay, we're gonna ignore my mom. Anyways, let's keep going here. Netflix, which just saw its stock plummet more than 30% after revealing a subscriber and revenue loss during its first quarter earning report Tuesday, isn't just in trouble on Wall Street. It's also facing complications in Toontown. Yes, Toontown rewritten. No, that's just a joke. They're just making a joke there. That has nothing to do with Toontown rewritten. Rindas, however the hell you pronounce Rindas. Firing was perhaps an inevitable end to a deeply chaotic period for Netflix animation, particularly its kids and family division, which have been very woke. There's been hits in there. People have told me Hilda was good. Kid Cosmic was actually pretty solid, but you could tell there was just a lot of like injection of woke ideology into these shows. We're seeing a lot of shows nowadays where, honestly, having two characters of the same straight, like same ethnicity, we cannot have a show where a white person, a white man, and a white female end up together. They always have to make a push where it's like a black woman and a white guy, or they keep doing these things where it's like, oh no, they're gay, or they end up with an alien, or they end up with anything but a white man and a white woman. It's crazy what they've been trying to do here. And it's indoctrination on an epic proportion of scale. So let's keep going. Netflix animation. Oh, sorry, wait, we missed here. Which saw a boom of talent and creativity give way to corporate pressure, mixed messages, and accusations of staged data. Yeah, I kind of want to read more about that staged data. Netflix animation, especially when it came to kids and family content, was once considered a glittery utopia. Superstar creators and visionary young talent were swayed by promises of unprecedented creative freedom and healthy production budgets. And, South Park made that joke where it's like, Netflix, you're greenlit. You guys remember the Coon when they were doing the whole superhero things? Eric Cartman was the Coon. And it's they're trying to pitch their idea for like a Coon movie franchise. It's like, Netflix, you're greenlit. Oh my god, those South Park guys are so good. Holy shit. But yeah, so basically we used to see when Netflix was starting out, they would basically back anything, and we're about to enter a period where it's not going to be the case. Backed by the financial and promotional might of the Netflix empire, not anymore. If you can't get subscribers, you're going to head to where Blockbuster was going, the door. Or bankruptcy, yeah. Irrelevancy, I guess. Obsolescence? No, I don't think the streaming services are going to become obsolete, but maybe some people are suggesting that streaming services were a fad, and now we're reaching the climax. When I was a kid, a lot of fads. Mighty Beans, Crazy Bones, like all kind of tech deck dudes with the little skateboards you would play with your fingers. There were all these fads. Even some people could even say that Pokemon was a fad. I don't think Pokemon was a fad because all these years later, it's still the number one franchise. So I don't think that one was a fad. But a lot of these things were fads, though, right? We even seen fidget spin. Do I have a fidget spinner in here? I don't think so, right? No. I don't have a fidget spinner, but you guys remember fidget spinners, right? Those little things, you turn them around with your finger. Those were all fads. They didn't last the test of time, and maybe, just maybe, streaming services are actually a fad. We don't know. I guess we need more time, but Netflix has shown us that there is a peak to the mountain. You can only have so many subscribers before people just are like, no. And don't even get me started on the competition. When Netflix started out, they were the only game in town. Now, HBO Max, Peacock, you can't even list them all on one finger anymore, HBO, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Apple TV Plus, they all have pluses in them. Except for HBO. HBO Max at least is a standout, but too much competition, they're not going to succeed with this much competition going down. And also a lot of viewers, I think I heard somewhere that like a while back that like a lot of Disney and Netflix viewers are in India, but they count them as subscribers. You know how when they say like, oh, we got 100 million subscribers, a lot of them are just Indian like subscribers that might only be paying like $1 or 30 cents for a subscription, which, it sounds deceptive, right? It sounds very deceptive. Like we're out here thinking that when they say subscribers, they mean like $15 a month, Canadian or American, but no, it's some of these subscribers are just like $1 in India. What do they use over there? Rubles? Rupees, right? Indian rupees. I think that's what they use. So they are probably fudging the numbers. And let's keep going here. A few years ago, there was no place more welcoming or seductive to artists and animators than Netflix Animation. Netflix animation units like live action divisions were known for being a place that you could bring a project that might not have gained traction anywhere else and suddenly have it produced, and this is a problem. I think that for many years, like, this is a good thing. On one hand, it's so cool that you could get anything produced. On the other hand, there's a lot of garbage that gets, a lot of trashy shows that get made. Cuties. Cuties. Let me say cuties a third time. Cuties. Fucking cuties. Okay. When are they removing that one and apologizing for it? I don't know. But we got to keep going here, folks, just so the video doesn't end up being an hour. But cuties, damn it. Oh my God. So yeah, they were able to basically greenlight anything, gain traction anywhere else, and suddenly have it produced without much studio interference. Animation heavyweights like Craig McCracken, he just did, what was the show? Kid Cosmic. I thought that one was really, really good. I think they probably should have killed Papa G at the end. That was kind of a missed opportunity. The second season had a lot of issues. The show is called Kid Cosmic. Let's spend an entire season on freaking Joe and Flo. Or what was it? Yeah, Mo and Flo. No, Joe and Flo, right? Yeah. They spent way too much time on Joe and Flo when they could have been focusing on Kid Cosmic. So even that show had its issues, right? It's still a good show, though. Still a good show. And Elizabeth and George, whoever, rushed to the service and quickly started working on their own personal dream projects, while Netflix also courted younger artists and fostered productive licensing agreements, chiefly with DreamWorks Animation, Guillermo del Toro's Troll Hunters, and its associate. I still have never seen. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have ever seen Troll Hunters. I've heard very mixed opinions on that show. It's interesting, but like, is it really that good? Like, people seem to bring this show up a lot. I don't know what's going on. Let me know. Was this a good show? Was Troll Hunters good? Is it even still running? Maybe it's still running. Who the hell knows? But yeah, Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast and many more. I don't think I ever saw Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast. Did I watch the trailer for that? I don't even remember. Maybe I did. Who the hell knows? Kipo and the one, is that the one where like it was just a bunch of like these weird faced creatures? Is that the one? Kipo? No, this is not. Yeah, I never ended up watching this one. Maybe it was good. Who the heck knows? I guess you guys are gonna let me know in the comment section down below. But they haven't had too many hits. Apparently, Hilda was, like I said, Hilda was a pretty solid one. There's been a couple good ones here and there, but like, for the most part, Netflix has a lot of shows that just fall under the radar and they're never seen again. Didn't they also do that god-awful He-Man show, He-Man Masters of the Universe, where it's like they basically tore down He-Man just to make what was her name? Not Natasha. What was the name? Teela. It was the Teela show. It was the freaking Teela show. I really didn't enjoy what Kevin Smith and Netflix brought to the table with Masters of the Universe there. And, so some of these are very hit and miss, and just, like, I felt like I wasted my time with that show. I gotta be real. I think it got or maybe it's not canceled, but I think it got, like, ended after a season. So, yeah. Just goes to show you that people were not happy with that He-Man show. Maybe it's not canceled. They were kind of ambiguous on if it's going to continue or not, but I don't know. I think it's canceled. Especially after this, after all these firings and high-profile cancelings. Yeah, it's probably gone now, right? But now you are seeing fewer of these creator-driven projects. New series aren't as exciting as they once were because they have IP that they can just keep milking to the end of time. Many animators have left the studio, decamping to old standbys like Cartoon Network, Disney, and Nickelodeon. So basically, the talent is just getting flushed away to the other networks and other streaming services like Apple TV and Amazon. And Netflix focus has shifted noticeably too. They don't even talk about binge watching. Remember when binge watching was the in thing? They would just put a show out and the entire show would be launched. Like, I remember, like, what was it? What was the Marvel Universe ones? Was it Daredevil? Yeah. It was like Daredevil and Iron Fist and Luke Cage and like all those shows. I remember when those were coming out, like binge watching was like at the peak, right? Like that's when like peak binge watch was coming out. Then sooner or later, Netflix just stopped using the term binge watching. They didn't want you to, remember when they used to say Netflix and binge? Wait, was that the slogan? Wait, Netflix and chill. Wait a minute, I'm getting it wrong. Never. Did I just invent that out of my? Okay, never mind. It was Netflix and chill, but you would chill and you would. Okay, I can't save it. But you guys get the idea, right? Netflix used to make commercials where it's like, you can binge watch all your favorite shows, la 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 la. And they would, they'd show you a reel of like all the top shows and whatever. They don't do that anymore. They just don't. They don't want you to use the term binge watch. They release certain things like all at once. And now we're seeing that to keep their subscriber, a lot of people are just watching show. They'll subscribe to Netflix for 1 month, watch all the shows they missed, come back next year and do the same thing again. You know what I mean? So to keep them interested now, instead of binge watching, they're cutting the seasons in half and launching them like very close to the quarterly earnings, right? So they do this on purpose. It's like, oh, if we put all the top the most watched shows, if we cut them in half and put them towards the quarters, right? So Netflix just had a quarterly earning report, and that's why you get a nice little cliff drop like this. And so what they're doing now is they're putting their shows towards the quarterly ending earnings reports, just so all the people come back, they subscribe, and then they can immediately report, oh, we're not doing as bad as everyone says we are. It's just disgusting, folks. But yeah. Let's keep going on here. One producer whose show on Netflix wasn't renewed, said that when they got to Netflix, Rinda, who served creative roles on groundbreaking animated series like Gravity Falls and Adventure Time, those are on Disney though. Gravity Falls is Disney, Adventure Time is HBO Max / Cartoon Network. Time Warner, Discovery, goddamn, they have too many names. Told Netflix creators, we want to be the home of everybody's favorite show. By the time the producer left several years later, there was a new thesis statement. We want to make what our audience wants to see, Reed Hastings, Netflix CEO, now told Animation Talent. As far as mission statements goes, those are vastly different. Yeah. And for some reason, Netflix thinks everybody wants to see woke garbage. I don't know why, but, they just want to put a lot of woke garbage out there. Who wants to see children twerking, though? Explain to me cuties. Explain it to me. I want Reed Hastings to explain what kind of creepy-ass people are out there looking for freaking little girls shaking their asses. I don't know. Very interesting, Reed Hastings. True to this new thesis statement, several high-profile animated projects in the kids and family space have been outright canceled, including Bone, which Netflix confirmed an adaptation of Roald Dahl's The Twists. I don't know what that is. That was meant to be part of several doll-based projects. Oh, wait, did I cover this? I think this guy here, I can't remember his name, Ronald Dahl, he had a whole bunch. Was this the guy with the big friendly giant yeah, right? Is Ronald Dahl the guy who Netflix made a big old purchase where they bought a bunch of like some dudes like Ronald Dahl, big friendly. Oh, it was him, right? Yes. Ronald Dahl. Okay, yeah, this is the guy. They ended up buying up all of his like old properties. The Big Friendly Giant movie was a box office flop, so Netflix bought a really questionable thing here. BFG flop box office. Yeah, so it did flop. The biggest flop of Spielberg's career, The Big Friendly Giant. I still have never seen this movie. Let me know if it was any good for any of you who watched it. But so yeah, Ronald Dahl, I think he was a children's author that made a crap ton of books, and now they sold the rights or like entirely, or they licensed them out to I thought they said Netflix bought the rights entirely, but I could be wrong. So they got a bunch of his projects. Netflix insists The Twits is still alive, potentially now as a feature film. Oh, it's going to be a feature film? That like The Big Friendly Giant that crashed and was a box office flop? That doesn't sound too good. And Lauren Fosty's Witchy Toil and Trouble. Again, these are some weird and wacky properties. I don't know if they're going to be that good. Clearly in 2016 they weren't able to capture the magic, but yeah. I don't think it was owned by Netflix at that time when they made the BFG in 2016. But here's the part about Boss Baby. Yeah, we got to talk about this though. We got never mind the big friendly deal. Let's talk Boss Baby. Netflix currently touts Boss Baby as the ideal of what an animated series on the platform should be and what kind of numbers those animated series should be bringing in. This was reiterated by almost everyone we spoke to. So everyone they reached out to, like, hey, tell us about Netflix firing all these people. And they basically all came back and said, well, our shows got canceled because they weren't as good as Boss Baby. Which isn't even owned by Netflix, by the way. Right here. Look at this. Although Netflix doesn't even own Boss Baby, it licensed the series from DreamWorks Animation. A new Boss Baby series premieres next month. Crazy, folks. It's just absolutely crazy. They cannot seem to... It's like Netflix wants to create all their own original shows, but then they're realizing that a lot of these big franchise IPs are actually more worthwhile than creating their own shows. Now we're seeing the backlash. We're seeing created projects getting axed. Bone will probably... God only knows when Bone will actually make it to the big leagues, but or maybe it never will. I don't know. But Boss Baby is apparently the pinnacle of freaking animation on Netflix of what a show should look like. And that's kind of concerning. They're literally comparing a show they don't even own to like new shit that they could be creating that might be good. Questionable as all hell. Elizabeth Ito, whose deeply brilliant City of Ghosts was recently nominated for a Peabody Award and currently sports a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I have not heard of this. Reiterated, as many did, how much she enjoyed working on both the executive teams and Netflix marketing department, but she suggested that Netflix 360 feedback culture, which is exposed in its culture memo and trumpets full transparency as one of its core tenets, went out the window when the show was threatened with cancellation. So it's like, hey, you guys are doing such a great job. Actually, you didn't get the numbers we were expecting, so you're gone. Which is just bananas. So apparently they have full transparency, but they actually don't. And then let's keep going here. Ito and others have complained of being presented with staged data meant to prove a point that Netflix has and quash conversation around it. So this is where the staged data stuff comes in. Ito described the data explaining for the first time what they should have gone for, what they spent time on what they should have gotten for what they spent on the show. Yeah, so this is interesting. So if you make a show that costs $10 million, they expect to get a certain amount of viewers for the amount that they spent. So Netflix, back in the day, they used to be like, you want a show, we'll give you $5 million. We don't care how much viewers it gets. Just make a show because we desperately need to make original content. Now, this is the new era of Netflix. Now you have to meet those numbers or you get axed. And I guess that's a good thing because supply and demand, right? If shows aren't getting watched, we shouldn't be greenlighting like stuff that's not worthwhile. So it could be a good thing for Netflix, but the culture is definitely changing and making it hard for animation to thrive. So it's a very 50-50 topic to discuss. Let's keep going here. One producer. Okay, hold on. Creators. Where were we? Ito described the data as explaining for the first time what they should have gotten for what they spent on the show. Netflix confirms their decisions are made using data, which takes into account viewing versus cost. Creators have described the process as manipulative. One producer sent the data back, asked questions, and received a separate, different set of data that still reinforced Netflix. So now, okay, wait, not only that. So Netflix might decide that a show is just too costly, and even if it's getting the numbers, they're giving you false data. This is actually just disgusting now. I actually don't think on my first read of this article, I don't think I actually caught this, but that seems to be the case. So Netflix actually is just like manipulating the data and canceling shows that and telling the creators they're doing good, and then suddenly it's like, oh, but we have the data, and actually, we're gonna cut you loose, so this is quite crazy. Netflix did not. Ito is now at Apple, so Ito was like, I've had enough of these Netflix pieces of shit. She just went for Apple. Wow, okay. You'll love to see it. Making matters more frustrating for creators are a set of imposed corporate guidelines that dictate with draconian exactness the marketing and distribution of the series. Promotion doesn't typically begin until a month before the show's premiere, so that's not good. They should be promoting these long before. Sometimes they haven't even been announced before then. Sometimes shows just launch without anything. Not even a trailer, maybe. This leaves a very small window to build awareness and anticipation, much less cultivate genuine excitement. And once the show debuts on the platform, it can often get lost in the shuffle. Yeah, there's too much shit on Netflix. There's just too much shit. How many times have you seen an animated series above the fold on the homepage? Very rarely. Even something like Masters of the Universe with Kevin Smith, where it had a huge controversy behind it, it only lasted on the homepage for like less than 2 weeks. So animation doesn't do so hot in Netflix. And like they said, it gets lost in the shuffle. Sorry, I think I missed something here. This leaves a very small window, and leading many creators to become their own hype machines via various social media platforms. We actually saw this with Infinity Train. Infinity Train season 3 even, not even season 4, season 3, before the show even got the 4th season there, fully out on HBO Max. The creator, something Owens, right? He had the name, I can't remember the name. I thought it was something with the word Owens in it. But the creator of Infinity Train, he was out there like begging people. He's like, please watch Infinity Train or it's going to get canceled. He had to hype it up himself or it was just axed. And then it got axed. And that's a shame. I actually really enjoyed Infinity Train, I gotta say. But, it gets axed, it gets axed. There's not much we can do about it. I watched the show at least, I'll say that much. But it's a shame. I kind of really just hope that they give it the Samurai Jack treatment, where like 10 years later, just bring back Infinity Train for like one last season to wrap everything up. Actually, don't scratch that. Don't wait 10 years. Just do it like next year, please. Just wrap Infinity Train up while it's still fresh in everybody's mind. One more season. Levers that other animation studios at bigger corporations can pull, like consumer product releases or promotional tie-ins, aren't pulled at Netflix. Yeah, Netflix doesn't have that sort of Disney pull where they can make like toys and everything. There weren't Kid Cosmic action figures lining the shelves of Target. That's true. I don't think they would have sold that well, though. Do you guys? I think Kid Cosmic t-shirt. It had a very interesting aesthetic. Definitely t-shirts. I don't know if Kid Cosmic like action figures would have done that well. There are certain shows where action figures do really good, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja. I always see, even though Ben 10, guys, folks. Ben 10 has the original series, right? Omniverse. It ended in Omniverse. They are still selling the original series of Ben 10, not the reboot. Ben 10 was so popular and so good at selling toys. In my Walmart, I can walk into my Walmart right now and buy original Ben 10 action figures. They're still there. People still love the original Ben 10 monsters or aliens. Meanwhile, these newer shows, they just can't get it. And it could be that, like they said here, Netflix just doesn't have the background to get it into store shelves. And so it gets forgotten about. But it's just a real shame. It's a real shame. This is the reason that Teen Titans never got season 6, because the toys were not selling. But here, Netflix has a different issue where it's like they don't seem to have the capacity to actually sell these toys in the first place, which is just a very different problem than DC Comics. But yeah, I definitely think Kid Cosmic could have sold some good t-shirts, though. It had such a very interesting style to it. And you couldn't get a City of Ghosts Happy Meal toy at McDonald's. There's no theme park or dedicated retail space to exploit. On the official Netflix shop, there isn't a single kids and family animated series represented. That's a problem. They should probably start focusing more on merchandise. Yeah, Disney has this down pat. Disney with the merchandise, people go crazy even for the forks and spoons. Man, it's nuts. Guidelines that usually indicate the way Netflix shows are introduced fail for the series in the kids and family animation space. Ito, who has small children, says kids are complicated. Netflix says that one of the things that sway the relative success of series is word of mouth, but kids don't talk to each other like that, Ito said. Some of the, well, when I was a kid, I kind of disagree with Ito on this one. When I was a kid, now hold on a second. There weren't any streaming services when I was a kid, so what? It's tricky. It's tricky. When I was a kid, basically, if there was a show, like I always talk about Kim Possible, right? When Kim Possible, the first couple seasons came out, every girl in the class had that ringtone where it was like, doo 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 doo. What's the stitch? You know what I mean? So back in those days, we definitely seen, because there was a smaller pool of shows. Everybody watched and talked about SpongeBob. Everybody watched, Timmy Turner. Everybody was watching, well, okay, not everybody. Teen Titans, at least the first couple seasons, were very popular in school. Simpsons was always popular. South Park was always popular. King of the Hill, that's even coming back for a reboot. A bunch of those shows, because there was such a small pool of shows. Futurama, almost missed Futurama. Because there was such a small pool of shows, most of the kids were like kind of forced to watch them because that's all that was on TV. And nowadays there's a million shows. There's just a million shows. Nobody know, and it's like, not only is Netflix competing against the other streaming services, YouTube, the fact that if anybody actually 46 minutes this video is in, if you guys actually sat here and watched this, I'm taking away from Netflix right now. You know what I mean? So it's like Netflix has more competition than ever before, and they're basically competing against YouTube and streaming services as a whole. So this is pretty nuts. We're almost done here. Dominic, whatever his face is, an executive producer on Megan Nicole Dong's musical animated series Senator World, said that Netflix is proud of its data. He admits that this approach brings up a lot of questions. Yeah, you don't say. While the other guy says that Dong was able to tell the story she wanted to cover over the course of Senator World's episodes. Dong told the streamer, "If you want more, we can do that." Instead, the team was presented with data but not given context for what the data means to Netflix. So it seems like Netflix is just handing people sheets of paper that say, like, whatever the fuck they want. If they just want to end a show, here's some random data. Like, what the hell is Netflix doing? I don't know. They're just printing out paper and just saying, here's some shit. We hope you guys can get another season, maybe. Good God. It seems Senator World wouldn't go beyond its initial commitment. While the person there asked questions about the data, Netflix stonewalled him, and he is now at Cartoon Network. Wait, is every person just gonna end up somewhere else? Is this the entire Oh my God. If an animated series receives accolades after its cancellation, as City of Ghosts did with several worlds and nominations, including the Peabody, Netflix is even slower to act, if at all. Look at Ito's personal Twitter account for the One Woman campaign that finally got Netflix. After several hours, to release a single City of Ghosts Peabody shareable. This is a dramatically different approach to their kids and family series content than even the animated feature space at Netflix, which launched an endless, elaborate campaign for the Mitchells vs. the Machines Best Animated Feature. So basically, Netflix is only promoting certain things that they might think that the woke mob on Twitter might react to, like the Kevin Smith He-Man show. And the Mitchells with the versus the Machines. I have not watched it. I heard some people said it was good, but apparently the big selling point of this movie is it has a lesbian couple at the end. So interesting how Netflix is promoting selective things here and there, right? But yeah, let's just finish this last paragraph. My voice, I'm exhausted. We got to finish up here. With Netflix stock precipitously dropping and budgets being tightened or slimmed company-wide, which is not a good thing, from production to hiring, maybe these animation creators knew long ago what everybody else figured out now, that Netflix will, while filled with great people, can be a wonderful place. But when you are being driven purely by algorithms and numbers, sometimes the math doesn't add up. Yeah. Like they said, Netflix would come in with a piece of paper that maybe had some weird data on it, and that was that. Maybe you didn't get a show anymore, you know? So very weird company culture here that we're learning about. But I'm glad to see that all these people just kind of like headed to all the other streaming platforms. And this does not bode well for Netflix going forward. Will they ever recover? I don't think so. I think the other streaming platforms that are selling merchandise like Disney Plus and HBO Max and whatever, they're going to do pretty good going forward. The rest of them, we're probably going to get consolidated into like one, we're only in the future. I think we're only going to see the smallest handful, maybe like 5 solid ones. Right now there's a whole handful of them, but like slowly, they're going to start merging into each other, and we're going to get maybe like 3 or 4 final. It's kind of like how DC and Marvel, there was like hundreds upon hundreds of comic book, companies back in the day, and slowly, they all got merged, and DC and Marvel are kind of like the big 2, and then there's like Image and Dark Horse, and so we're only left with the smallest handful of like 5 or 6 when it used to be hundreds, So I think there is consolidation in the future. Will Netflix get bought up by somebody? Now that Elon, we talked about Elon Musk going after Twitter. What, you guys don't want to see Musk flicks? Elon flicks? I don't know. But yeah, that could be the future. So this was a long video discussion. I hope you guys really enjoyed this here. My God, 51 minutes. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could watch an ad or two. This is a long video, so these longer videos, when I do long discussions, these advertisements are actually worth more money than usual. So if you're gonna watch an ad on this video for your boy Sandro. Thank you very much, guys. Peace out, bye-bye, and I can't wait to see how wacky shit gets next week, because this has been a really wacky week. I don't know. This is an anomaly. I don't know what's going on here, but I hope it continues so I could keep talking about crazy shit. The end. Bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out.